Hi, folks. First, I wanted to wish all of you a very, very happy Thanksgiving and a wonderful Christmas season here in 2022. As you know by now, an integral part of the Pura Vida Lifestyle here in Costa Rica is to make it a point to share good news stories with all who care to lend an ear. And our Costa Rica Pura Vida Lifestyle podcast series has been doing just that since January of 2020. With over 2,100 recorded episodes talking about Costa Rica and all of its awe and wonder, its magic and beauty, we also make it a point to share with all of you stories that simply make us feel good. My associate and very good friend Kevin, well, he just called to wish me a happy Thanksgiving. After a short conversation and a couple of cups of coffee, he mentioned that he was going to send over an uplifting story that will be certain to pull at our heartstrings. Thank you, Kevin, for doing so. And here's the story, perfectly timed for the Christmas holiday ahead. As the holiday season of 1938 came to Chicago, a gentleman by the name of Bob May wasn't feeling much comfort or joy. A 34-year-old ad writer for Montgomery Ward, Mr. May was exhausted and nearly broke. His wife, Evelyn, was bedridden on the losing end of a 2-year battle with cancer. This left Bob to look after their 4-year-old daughter, Barbara. One night, Barbara asked her father, "Daddy, why isn't my mommy like everybody else's mommy?" As he struggled to answer his daughter's question, Bob remembered the pain of his own childhood. A small, sickly boy, he was constantly picked on and called names. But he wanted to give his daughter hope and show her that being different was nothing to be ashamed of. More than that, he wanted her to know that he loved her and would always take care of her. So he began to spin a tale about a reindeer with a bright red nose who found a special place on Santa's team. Barbara loved the story so much that she made her father tell it every night before bedtime. As he did, it grew more elaborate. Because he couldn't afford to buy his daughter a gift for Christmas, Bob decided to turn the story into a homemade picture book and then present it to Barbara on Christmas Eve. In early December, Bob's wife died. Though he was heartbroken, he kept working on the book for his daughter, and a few days before Christmas, he reluctantly attended a company party at Montgomery Ward. Well, his co-workers encouraged him to share the story he'd written. After he read it, there was a standing ovation. Everyone, hundreds of people, wanted copies of their own. Montgomery Ward bought the rights to the book from their debt-ridden employee, and over the next 6 years at Christmas, they gave away 6 million copies of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer to all of their shoppers. Every major publishing house in the country was making offers to obtain this book. In an incredible display of goodwill, the head of the department store returned all rights to Bob May, and 4 years later, Rudolph had made him into a multi-millionaire. Now remarried with a growing family, Mr. May felt blessed by his good fortune, but there was more to come. His brother-in-law, a successful songwriter named Johnny Marks, set the uplifting story to music. The song was pitched to artists from Bing Crosby on down. They all passed. They didn't want any part of it. Finally, Marks approached Gene Autry. The cowboy star had scored a holiday hit with Here Comes Santa Claus a few years before. Like the others, Autry wasn't impressed with the song about the misfit reindeer, and Marks begged him to give it a second listen. Autry played it for his wife, Ina. She was so touched by the line, "They wouldn't let poor Rudolph play in any reindeer games," that she insisted her husband record the tune. Within a few years, it had become the second best-selling Christmas song ever, right behind White Christmas. And since then, Rudolph has come to life in TV specials, cartoons and movies, toys and games, coloring books, greeting cards, and even a Ringling Brothers circus act. The Little Red-Nosed Reindeer, dreamed up by Bob May way back when and immortalized in song by Johnny Marks, has come to symbolize Christmas as much as Santa Claus, evergreen trees, and presents. As the last line of the song says, he'll go down in history. Hey, thanks so much, Kevin, for sharing that story with me. And thanks to the original person who posted this on Facebook somewhere. In any event, we hope you have a wonderful holiday season. I'm going to stop now because the turkey's ready to come out of the oven. Pura Vida, thanks for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow.